Welcome to this reading. I'm Moonshine. This is my channel. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, if it doesn't resonate, don't take it. If it does, awesome. It's always for entertainment purposes only. If the shoe fits, wear it. If it nails the head on the coffin, awesome. I'm glad this message found you because it took a while to find you. Let me tell you. And now the tools to begin the ceremony. Here we go. Tarot ceremony. I like it. All right. I do have personal readings going on right now. WhitneyMoonshine@gmail.com. Look me up, hit me up. I got that in the description box below. My email, if you can get a hold of me. All right, here we go. Meditation in reverse. Fragment. Letting go. Playful. Oath in reverse. Cycles. Okay, so this could be somebody you're dealing with, or it could be you. You just take it how it resonates. Somebody around you, or you, or whatever, could have had an oath go against them. All right. Not really something they were planning on, but the cycle closed for this oath that they took. Okay. I feel like somebody around you just maybe doesn't know how to meditate and really center themselves. Or maybe you don't know how to meditate and center yourself or use your third eye or something like that. Universe is like, the best thing to do about something that you can't see because it's not in existence yet and you haven't manifested it yet. So it's really hard to see the future. It's really hard to see something before it's already there. Okay. Some people have that ability. Some people don't. Some people can see something and in their third eye see that whole room different. Everything they can do, top to bottom, right? Some people have that gift. And maybe you want to know how to get that gift. Or maybe you are envious of people who have that gift and you want to learn how to do it. And the universe is like, okay, well, first thing you got to do is let everything go. Anything that you think you know about this particular topic per se, just let it go. Okay, just let it all go. And the pieces of information that come back to you are valid for this experience. Okay. But the whole point of using your third eye and getting, into your intuitive side, basically, is to be as playful with it as possible. Okay. And I think what that means is like, you have to almost picture everything to be possible. There is no more restriction on what you think is there versus what you see is actually there, right? A lot of intuitive people have to believe in the unknown of what they're being told before, because I mean, a lot of psychics and a lot of intuitive people will get messages years before the message actually comes through. Okay, like that happens with my sister. She has these dreams and it'll be years later and she'll be like, remember when I had that dream? And I'd be like, actually, I do, because it was so weird. It was such a weird experience sometimes that you'll remember it and then you'll live it and then you'll go, oh my gosh, like what the heck? But the whole point is to let it go. You can't, if you foreseen something or if you're becoming like kind of like, a prophet or something, and what you're seeing is coming true or what you're believing is coming true, the best thing to do is just keep letting it go into the universe, keep believing in it and letting go. And that's really the only way that you can manifest, because if you hang on to it so tight, right, trying to figure it out, it's the energy is going to get exhausted and it's never going to want to come back to you, because you can't hold on to energy. You have to continually use it and recharge it. It's just like an ever going, what the universe gives you for energy wise, like air, you give back by existing. Hence, putting seeds out and feeding, nature's needy and vulnerable things that, it's like, I don't know, it's like somebody wants to, like, I don't know if they I don't know if they feel like they want to take an oath in a new cycle. They just don't know how to do it. Like, maybe they don't want to be so, in a box. Maybe they don't want to be so one dimensional thinking, right? Maybe they want to open up that, because that's a tricky state. And I mean, the only way that I did it successfully was with mushrooms. And like, then, mushrooms opened up my third eye, but then I had to start believing everything that my third eye was seeing, right? Because that's another thing, is like, your third eye is going to start showing you things, and you have to believe what you're seeing, because there are so many things going on. Just like tarot, like the worst messages come up, and the world's worst come up, because I have to believe that somebody's doing this, because I know how disgusting this world is, and I know what people are like. If I don't believe what I'm saying, then none of it exists. I might as well just turn it off, turn the channel off, and fucking never even try and do it again, right? I have to believe. And then people will message me and be like, that's exactly what happened. You have no idea. That's exactly what happened. That story you told was exactly what happened. So it's like, you have to believe in the power of what comes to you, what you say, how you feel, what you think, and take new oaths, like burn the old oaths down. Like, maybe there's this cycle where, like, somebody was like, well, I took an oath to my parents, or I took an oath to my brother, or I took an oath to somebody. And it's like, yeah, well, you know what, like, oaths are broken too. And unfortunately, it sucks, but people change. And it's not the worst thing in the world to suddenly go back on something that you promised, if the promise is no longer valid anymore, or if the oath is no longer needed or necessary, right? Like, that would be like, I almost feel like this would be like, okay, say I was in a really good position, and I had a nice little house, and a little bit of money, and nice little car, and good time job. And then suddenly somebody in my family came to me and needed something, right? I would take an oath to them to get them back on their feet. That's what maybe this oath is, right? And then once they're back on their feet, that oath is, you fulfilled it. You're done. You don't have to keep fulfilling an oath to get somebody back on their feet. If they're on their feet, the oath is done, right? So maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe somebody's having a really hard time in letting go of an oath, or letting go of some cycle that they made because they promised, and they put their fucking blood, sweat, and tears in it, and it meant something to them, but it didn't mean anything to anybody else. So it's like, unfortunately, sometimes you go through these things, and you have these things happen that are absolutely horrifying and awful, and you don't get that time back, because that's not how we measure our lives, right? Like, if your life was supposed to be different, it would have been. If you weren't supposed to go through what you did, your life would have been different, right? But there's also that factor where people were supposed to make better decisions, yes, but they didn't. Therefore, again, if it was supposed to be different, it would have been. People around you had more of a choice to make better decisions than what you perceive, right? And they broke more oaths than anything. And maybe that's what it is. People break oaths around you. You don't want to do it because you see what those oaths do, and you see that people need to hold on to them. But at the same time, that's not the answer for everyone. And please try to break away from that, because my stepmother was very much like that. Everything she said, it has to be correct. And she will plaster it in cement, and she will be 100% correct on it, that this is the way that it is. And I've never seen another family do it that way, but she says and claims it has to be this way. Everybody is like this, and if they're not, they're lying, or they're fucking. And like, I found everything she said was completely full of shit. Like, the oaths that we took to her as kids, we promised to obey her, we promised to do things for her, and she didn't care. She just made us do things, so then she didn't have to do them. She knew what she was doing, but could we see what we couldn't let go? No. Right? So, I mean, I'm not quite sure what you needed to hear in this message, but I feel like the message was delivered. I feel like you don't have to see everything. And if you let it go, I mean, that's the best thing to do. Let it go and see what happens. Man, I once had this cat, and even with my snakes, I'm like, I let them go, you know, like I let them just kind of like do what they need to do. And it's a process of learning. And if they come back, then you're like, well, okay, I can trust this a little bit more. Like if an animal always comes back, or if somebody always comes back, you're doing something correct then, because you're giving them the open door to say they can come and go. And if they keep coming back, then that's what works for you. Just what works for you isn't going to be what works for the house next door, or the family across the street, or your best friends that you hang out with every weekend. Like everybody is so massively different, and every relationship is so different, that I wish people would just concentrate more on claiming what they need in the relationship, instead of claiming what the relationship should be in order to comfort all their needs. So, anyways, let this get into you, whoever needed this message. All right, it was a very, I can feel, very divine, very focused message for somebody. So take it how it resonates. If you want to get more into this, obviously whitneymoonshine@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I would love to talk to you. All right, personal readings are just amazing, and you wouldn't believe the stuff that you find out about yourself and about what people are doing behind your back, and my goodness. So anyways, thank you so much. Like I said, entertainment purposes only. All right, if the shoe fits, wear it. I hope it really resonated with somebody, and have a wonderful weekend. Okay, enjoy that. It's sunny out there and it looks beautiful, and I'm about to go out on a little excursion myself. So just enjoy it. Mwah! Love you. Have a good one. Take it easy, everybody.